What's up, everybody? Today we're checking out an Aklot DIY kit, completely plug and play. What's up, guys? Six String Sanger. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. And there are chapters down below because this probably will be a little longer than normal video, being that we are putting together an entire DIY kit. Alright, so, full transparency, Aklot got a hold of me and asked me if I'd like to try one of their DIY kits. I said, well, okay, let's go for it, right? So I do have this one here. This is their Les Paul. Remember the Lorian series? The Les Paul style guitar. Pretty badass guitar. Sounded amazing. Well, that's what's in this box right here. I also have the Strap model as well. If you remember me doing, I believe it's a Stride. The Stride model. It's kind of like a Strat. I do have that one as well. We'll do that one in another video. However, just want to let you guys know up front, due to time restraints and weather outside and everything, and just trying to get some things done, I'm not going to be doing any coloring of this on this video. Okay, this more just like an unboxing, see what all you get. We'll put it together and try to get this all in one video. And, since it is all plug and play, and we'll see where we go, just to see what you can get from Aklot right out of the box. And by the way, stay tuned at the end, because you may be able to win one of these your very self. Okay, so give me a second here. I'm going to switch some things around. I'm going to flip this over, turn on the overhead camera, and we'll see what we got inside this box. All right, guys, so here you go. Here's what you get. With the Aklot DIY kit. Comes in this really nice box here. As we open it up here, you'll see, looks even better, right? We got to take this off of here. I do like the layout of this, how they got this all nice and neat. Looks very, hang on a minute. Yeah, looks very professional, okay? So I have had this out just a minute just to look at things like the, instruction manual, things like that. You get an extra set of strings here, which we'll probably end up putting our own on there, of course. But yeah, you get your assembly guide here. Walks you through everything, how to assemble everything, what goes where, all that good stuff. Like I said, complete plug and play. We'll use this a little bit. I'll just kind of show you what they're talking about, maybe in parts of it. And then they give you this electric guitar guide. So if you're just starting out, you can learn how to play some music, man. Kind of cool here, So we'll set this stuff aside. Oh, sugar pack, ha ha ha. Just kidding. Okay. All right, so yeah, very nice setup, very nice. It says Aklot right here. This is kind of a plasticky thing. I do like the layout. You kind of see everything you get here. So here's some, better not lose that. There's some of your screws and things you get there. Truss rod adjustment tool, of course. So that's awesome. You can see you got all your tuner pegs here. You got your stuff for your bridge. Your pickups there. There's the actual bridge, and then the tailpiece. You got your knobs here. You got your plate for your neck. And your jack plate. And this is probably the first DIY kit that I've seen that it's just, you plug in the jack. Sometimes I've done these, it's been a plug and play model. I think it was a Fesley model. You plug and play everything, but yet you still had to solder the jack together, which ain't a big deal, but this is complete plug and play all the way. Okay, so let's get this body out. Take a look at that. Look at the flame on that. That flame looks crazy. Kind of moves with the light a little bit. I'm kind of sad that I'm not putting color on this, but as you can see, this is just basically kind of like what they would do at the factory. They get the blank done, and then they send it over for coloring and all that stuff, and they do their finish work on it there. This is, as far as I know, I read in the directions that it is ready for stain and or paint. If you want to scuff it down, it's up to you. There might be a couple dings in here you might want to sand out or something like that. But for the most part, the body is pretty well ready to go. All right, let's get into the neck here. The neck is very nice. Very nice looking neck here. I believe this is, I can't remember what this, hang on just one second, let me look. Okay, so it is a roasted maple neck here, as we can see. Very nice though, very smooth. It's already been pre-treated, it's done. You wouldn't even have to do anything to this. It's already, there's no sanding required. You don't need to paint it or anything. If you wanted to redo it or paint it, you can. I would advise to scuff that up, because this is, I'll probably just keep the neck that way even if I ever do color it. You got a Jatoba fretboard, 24 frets, jumbo style frets, I might add. These are your regular type of kind of copper nickel type frets. This here is kind of like your ABS type of plastic, but I think it's probably got some of that material, like you know, they'll mix the material like metal into the nut or whatever. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, it looks like they're cut very well, so that's good there. That's pretty cool. Nice job with the neck. I do want to talk about the body again. This here is a maple top, a flame maple top, by the way. This is not a graphic, okay? And you know, you can see the cap part of it right in here, where they just put the cap on. If you can see the seam there, where it's all like there. There's no binding here, of course, but I believe it's probably a poplar body. I know the original Lorian, when they were done with it, you know, you had a maple top, which I think I said in a video is a graphic, but I didn't know. You know, I wasn't reading it up all the way, but you know. But yeah, so you got a flame maple top, and I believe a poplar body for the body. But yeah, man, that flame is just beautiful. My God. Okay, here's all your wiring here. As you can see, like I said, it's all plug and play. I would assume these are probably your pickups here. You know, I don't know. We'll have to look at the directions, see what goes to what. But yeah, so it's the only thing, this here's your ground wire, which you shove up inside the guitar, and that hits right onto your bridge post. So there's absolutely, as far as I know, 100% plug and play on this thing, okay? Let's take a look at the bridge here, give you an idea of the, oh God, that's hard to get out of there. I got them in there pretty well. This is like the gunmetal type of color, man. It's very nice. It's like a black, there's no markings here of what it would be, but it's very, very nice looking color. I do like this. It's like the dark gunmetal. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, pretty cool. And these tuners here are the 18:1 gear ratio tuners, you know, Aklot branded type tuners. You know, on the original model, not the DIY kit here, but I'm assuming these are probably the same, but they did really well. They turn really smooth, nice and firm, so that should be a good thing there. So let's go ahead and get this off the table, and let's get right into this thing, start building. Okay, so here in the book, as we open it up, this tells you, you know, you get all your, this is what all you get in a box. Just make sure you got everything you need there first. Then, you know, you go into your pre-work stuff here. Talks about all the tools you need. It just still throws me off a bit because it does show a soldering iron, but I don't think you need it, okay? This goes over your parts list or whatever you need to do this project. As we can go here, your pre-work assembly, just to kind of go over things, if there's any cracks, how to fill it, and how to sand things and get things prepped if, you know, if you have any damage that's in here. Like I said, it said it's fully prepped and ready to go, but you know, if you want to feel safe about it, go ahead and sand it slightly and get her down to where you want to be. So it looks like we're starting here. It goes into the neck. We'll get the neck all situated. So this is a 24 3/4 inch scale, okay? So let's just go ahead and get started here. So after we do the neck, we're going to go right into the tuning pegs, it looked like. Then they got you doing this. You don't have to go in this order, but this is just what they suggest. Kind of, you can walk through it page by page and shows you everything. I'll probably look into more of it when we get to the wiring part, because I don't want to, you know, mix up the the pickups with the, you know, volume and tone or whatever. So yeah, let's just get right into the neck here, get it going. Okay, so as we can see here, you know, we're just lining up the holes with the neck here to make sure everything's good. Everything is pre-drilled on this. Sorry, I can't speak today. So yeah, It's pretty basic stuff here, made really simple. But I'm going to try to make this and hurry this along a little bit. I'm going to use a power drill here. Hang on. I don't want to go too fast, too quickly. Okay. There we go. There's that one. And you gotta love my table here, the table that I'm working with. This is basically the best you can do in my situation. Okay. So get that far. Then always kind of like tighten them down with your handy screwdriver here. So we'll go ahead and tighten these down, and then we'll get concentrating on the tuners. So we'll go ahead and tighten these down. We'll be right back. So yeah, anyway, what I was talking about with my table, this is just a guitar case. Okay, this is what I'm dealing with here. The room that I would normally use, that I've done stuff in the past, it'd be downstairs, but I don't have, that room is not available at this point just because of what's going on, you know? Like, you know, we got the holidays coming and I'm trying to get things cleaned up down there. So, had to do what I had to do. So these are pretty self-explanatory here. Just kind of like, you just want to thumb screw them on. Everything's already together here. I was kind of looking for the bolts. I was like, oh yeah, they're probably already on there. So naturally, just unscrew these, just like so. And then there you go. And then you place it in. You just want to make sure your hole lines up with the pre-drilled hole there. That way you know you're in the right spot. And then you come into the front, just like this. If you can see that, I don't know. But anyway, then you kind of use your fingers like this to kind of just tighten it down. Then you'll come back in here in a minute and we'll tighten them all down, put the screws in. You know, then we'll kind of go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up these. You don't have to watch all that, but that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, let's just keep growing, huh? All right, so we got all these thumb tight, kind of, sort of, got it started anyway. I'm gonna use this tool. This is a Music Nomad Care tool. If you haven't seen this, really awesome. It's running about 20, 25 bucks. But you get all these different hex, you know, nut drivers here, several different ones. Plus you get an extra one here. Plus this goes from flathead to Phillips screwdriver. Very nice tool. I use this all the time. So we'll be using the top one here. So we'll make sure all your tuners are facing out the way you want them. Then we're just going to come in and use this top part, and we're just going to kind of turn and get it kind of slightly snug. We don't want to superly over tight it right now because we got to put the screws in. We'll make sure we can line them up proper. Then we'll come back and retighten those down. Make sure they're in a good spot and they're nice and snug. Okay, so one thing that will be slightly confusing is that you're going to run into, like, I wonder what these screws are for. So basically, Aklot, if you're watching this, you know, maybe with your bags, just kind of like, you know, this would be, you could put tuner screws. Then you could put, this would be, like these over here, you could put pickup ring screws. Just, you know, label them or put a number on it and label in your directions. Just makes it a little simpler, especially if it's the first time you've ever done anything like this. So now we're just going to position the screws in, line up the holes, and we're just going to simply just screw these in. Okay, so now when that's all done, you just want to come around to the front, just kind of like give these a little bit of a snug tightness. You know, just make sure they're good and snug. That way everything you know up here is good to go. Oh, there we go. And there, that one was a little loose. And there's that one. Okay, tuners are in and the neck is on. We're moving right along. Okay, so before we keep going, I just want to reiterate, when you're doing these, don't over tighten these because it may crack your headstock. Okay, you just want to snug them down, just slightly snug. You don't want to overdo it. So just to keep that in mind. So let's move on here. After that, we're moving into the volume knob installation, the tone knob installation, all that good stuff there. We'll see what we got to do on that. This is the one where I want to kind of pay attention to because I want to make sure we're doing it properly. So let's go ahead and get our wire harness out here, wherever I had it. Okay, here we go. So, looks like, oh gee, I don't know which side's what here. Let's see. Okay, so the toggle's down, so we got it up this way. So it says, the one with the two green wires, This has, yeah, well, you know what? Hang on a minute. There's a green wire there. Okay, so I got this. Let's see. So with the one volume pot here that has the green ground wire on it, you want to go into the first hole. So let's get this guitar flipped over. Alright, so it says to go ahead and do that, and then to put the nut on the front of this here just to get it all in place. So we'll do that real quick. I'll just kind of thumb tight it down once we get them all in there, and then we'll kind of go from there. So there's that. Okay. Then I believe it looks like the other one naturally will go through this other hole. Double check. Yep. Okay. Because the other hole's bigger. Naturally, it's going to be for the, the other part. Okay. So let's go ahead and have that. I want to see how they're positioning that in there. Okay. Okay. Yep. So they want this positioned this way, it looks like in the picture. So we want to make sure it's positioned out that way. Go ahead and put your washer and your nut on the outside of this again. And we'll just tight this one down as well. Okay, so since I've got these both in, I'm just going to kind of tighten them down a little bit, snug them in. That way they're not going to move around on me. I'll move that to there, get that about right there. It's really not, you don't want to go too heavy because you don't want to crack anything. You know, it is wood, right? Okay, so then, it's got this thing going in. So this already has that there for you. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take that there, put that there, and I don't think, okay, there shouldn't be anything else that way. Let's go ahead and put the switch in. But now, make sure. Okay, so typical fashion. I'm not used to using this camera. I didn't realize when the battery died. Just to kind of recap, we got the volume, the tone, and the toggle switch all put in here. So we're up to putting in the ground wire, which it says to run through this low cavity hole here. So we'll run that through. And this will shoot out right here in the bridge in the front where your bridge go. So when we get ready, we'll have to strip this back a little bit, make sure all the wires are connected to the bridge. That is your ground. Okay, so according to the book here, we are up to the pickup installation. Fairly simple. Just identify which one is your bridge and which one is your neck. Easiest way to do that is your thickness of the pickup ring. Naturally, this is going to be your bridge. This will be your neck. Okay, and you always want the wire, or my experience is the wire is always down this bottom corner right there. So, that way it kind of feeds through. So we're going to feed this through the cavity here in the body and go down to one of the plugs. So let's try to do that. Okay, so a little tip there. Push the one wire first and then take your second wire. And you can just kind of pull it all through. And then that should just sit down in there like thus, okay? Then you want to take this and go on down through the body to where it's going to connect. I don't know if I can get both of them down there at the same time. It'd be nice if I could, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it works, guys. Oh yeah, that hole's a little bigger apparently. Or maybe not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So let's see where we're at here on the back. Coming through yet? Oh no, it's not even there. Not even close. Alright. So, Aklot, I will tell you also, again, maybe to make these holes just a little bit bigger, okay? Not much, just a little bit bigger to make it easier to get these wires through the body where they need to be. Alright, that one's peeking through. I don't know if I can get this one in there. We can start with one and then we'll try the other one to chase it. See how that works. Okay, yeah, that works too. So you just got to start with one and then try to put the other one right behind it and hope for the best. And then we come over here. Yep. We got the one coming through. And hope. Sorry, this is really bad angles here. Okay, so there's that one. Where's the other one at? Okay, I ain't gonna lie, this is rather difficult. It's not a hard thing to do. Honestly, if you really want to get technical, you could probably cut this tape here just a little bit more. Give you a little more slack. But yeah, this is the fun part of it. This is the fun part. This is where it gets rewarding, right? Okay, so we'll just keep on pushing here. Hope for the best. Okay, that was a struggle. I'm not gonna lie to you. Trying to get them in there like that. So now, it's saying to go ahead, once you get them ran through there, go ahead and put your screws in for your pickup rings and get them all set in. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll go to our next step. So let's get these screws put in. Alright guys, okay, so we're finishing up the plugging in part here. It's not too difficult as far as that goes. Basically, let me get this one, I think that one would go there, right? Okay, so basically, you know, you just want to, it says connect your volume potentiometer to the output jack, which there's your volume wire here that would go right to your the output jack here, okay? And then your other wire, one wire would go to your pickups here. You got one for the switch and one for the tone knob down here, which is with a coil split as well. And then the same way at the other pickup. Okay, you want to go one to the tone knob and one to the switch, and that's pretty much it. One thing here would be a lot nicer. Again, Aklot, if you're watching, maybe you could number these like 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, you know, and then put output jack onto that. You know, just something to make it a little more simpler. I mean, yeah, the wiring diagram's okay, but it's just kind of like, what? You have to really sit there and think about it for a minute, which I did, you know, and I don't wire stuff very much, so it didn't help me out very much. So basically what we're down to is I'm basically sliding this output jack in. We're going to put a couple of screws here on the outside. Let me zoom this camera out a little bit here. Hang on. Whoop, wrong way, wrong way. There you go. So I'm going to put a couple of screws in here for the output jack. We'll plug in the output jack, make sure we have power. I did mess around with it a minute ago to make sure of that, but yes, we should be okay. And then I got to find 2 screws to put in here. Just give me a second for that. There we go. Found the screws right here, right here. Now I've got to find my screwdriver. Ah, man, my hand's worn out here. Tell you that. Okay, there. All right. So we just plug this in here, right there, and it snaps in. Everything's good here, so we'll kind of like try to snug these wires down inside of here best we can, you know. Here we go. That looks decent for now. Okay, so let's flip this over. I still don't have the bridge in yet. That'll probably be the next thing we'll do. Let's go ahead and plug in wherever the hole is here. Where's there it is. Okay. Turn on the amplifier. And let's see. I could use the tip of the screwdriver here, I suppose. Turn up the volume. Yep, we got 10. We got, there's that. Nothing there. Good. That one should be dead. And there you go. Alright, so let's do this. Now coil split, right? I think the coil split should work, okay? So let's move on here and get to the bridge part. I'll go ahead and close up the back. We'll put the cover plate. Let's go ahead and put the cover plate on the back right now. That way that is done. And then we'll come up front here for the bridge. Alright, put one in here. One in here. And one in here. Okay. And we'll just tighten these down and we'll get to the front for the bridge. Okay, so we did the wiring diagram. There's the back plate installation. We already did that. As we switch to the next page here, maybe. Yeah, come on. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. So it's really not showing much. Let's see, prior to installation. Ground wire setup. There you go. Green wire. Yep. So there's the green wire here that's coming out right there. Okay. So what we'll have to do is, I usually cut a little bit off of this, and you know, that way it's got a little more feel to it. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll install the bridge pins and go from there. So what I'll do is I'll push this back considerably just to give it a little more room inside the cavity, you know, for that. So I'll just kind of come along here, and you guys do this however you want, but this is how I've always done it, okay? I just kind of clip that off, then I'll come back here and then I'll pull just a little bit. Pull that shielding off of there like that. Make sure we got enough there to connect to the bridge, okay? You just want to kind of like set it down in there. That way when the bridge post goes down, that'll connect to it, okay? So let's get your bridge post ready to go. Here's your tailpiece here. Like I said, this is how I do it, guys. You do it however you feel you need to do it. So I just do that. So this isn't a rubber mallet or anything. This is just a hard plastic thing here that I have. And I do have a little rag here so I don't mess anything up. But all I'm going to do is just tap it gently down. And there's a little trick that I didn't do that maybe I should have. I've learned several times. Honestly, if you take these and stick them in the freezer for like maybe an hour or so, it's for some odd reason, I don't know if it shrinks the metal or what, but it does help. I've seen somebody do that and they go in a lot easier. So we'll just kind of pound these down. These are going in actually pretty easy. There you go. When you get that nice solid feel, then you know you've hit it right, okay? So go ahead and put this, oh, that one's pretty loose there. Okay. There we go. All right. So those are good. So something else I want to just check real quick, just to make sure that that ground sat in pretty well. Make sure we don't have any buzzing or anything of the pickups. Okay. And everything sounds really good here, so I don't have, there's no buzzing of any kind. So that's good. We got a good connection. Woo! Yeah. We got a good connection with the ground. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and put in the bridge post here. Okay, so as you can see, these go in rather easily. So something to do with that, I've done this before in other guitar kits. Not really that big of a deal. What I'll do is I'll just take a little bit of this aluminum tape, okay? You know, people do different things, whatever. You just take a little bit of aluminum tape here and just put it right here on the bottom part where it's going to connect to the actual entrance part. That way it'll kind of help tighten it up and snug it up. So kind of put that there and then just pound it in like that. Okay. So I will use this. There you go. Now she's tight. She's not going to come out. See how loose that is? Now I can't pull that one out. So just a little tip for you if you are concerned about something to that nature, or if you run into that same problem with this kit. Sometimes it happens, you know, I don't know. All kits, some kits are different than others, but you know, you tend to just like learn little tricks and things along the way. So anyway, so same way here. Put that in. Like I said, you just wrap it around, nothing major. And then just hammer it down in there. Okay, here we go. When you hear it get louder, that's where you want to be. So that one's good and solid, that's good and solid, that's solid. That one, I could probably put a little bit on that, but I think it'll be fine. The nice thing about doing a plug and play kit like this is when we get ready to actually, if I'm going to do a coloring on this, it's pretty simple to do. You know what I mean? Just unplug your pickups, pull them out type of thing. You know, there's no resoldering or anything like that, so that kind of makes it nice in that regard, okay? Okay, I think we are ready. Let's go ahead and do some finality stuff here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. There it goes. Man, that's kind of snug. Yeah, that works out pretty good. And let's make sure our bridge. Oh, well, here's our little pots here. Or our covers for pots and stuff. I think it just slides down. There you go. There you go. There's one. There's another one here. There's that. Okay, we're all good there. Switch is good. Okay, so last but not least here, let's see if the bridge fits in there good. Perfect. Fits great, man. So that'll be awesome there. I guess we're down to basically, we can check the neck, but I usually like to check the neck with the string tension on it after I put the strings on there. We'll probably oil up the fretboard a little bit. These frets, honestly, they don't look bad at all. Usually I would probably polish them up a little bit, but they really don't feel that bad. And like I said, time is of the essence right now. So let me go ahead and take these off. Get these covers off of there like that. like that. Now she's starting to really look like a awesome guitar. I do feel bad that I didn't get any color on this thing, but you know, let me know down in the comments what color you'd like to see this. You know, I'm definitely going to stain it. You know, because we're getting into the winter months. We can come back probably and revisit this at some point. So let me go ahead and get my favorite gauge of strings, which is 1046 D'Addario. Okay, you can use the strings that come with it. That's fine. But I use D'Addario strings. That's just my preferred string. So I will go ahead and get that all set and ready to go. Actually, I'll put oil on this first. You don't have to watch me do that. It's basic stuff. Just a little bit of lemon oil. Just rub it in there and let it set for a minute. But yeah, so give me a minute here. I'll go get my strings and we'll come right back. Yep. Yes, and I forgot the string strap buttons. So we're putting the strap buttons on right now. Alright, we got the D'Addario strings all lined up through here. Easiest way to do it on a Les Paul. And then just slide it up through there. And I'll get this thing stringed up. And hopefully, you know, with a couple of light adjustments, we'll be playing this thing and rocking out real quick. Give me a minute. Okay guys, so we got her all tuned up. Did the best I could with the intonation with the time that I had. It's kind of a tedious process. I'll talk to you more about that here in a second. I tested the pickups on this. For the bridge, you get a 9.3. When you cut it in half, it goes to around a 4 or something. Up to the bridge here, or the neck, sorry, the neck, up to the neck here, you got it's like a 9.0. So yeah, the coil split does work on this, which is nice. So let's see what kind of clean tones we have here with this Lorien guitar. If you haven't seen the original Lorien, this is pretty much, I would say, the same guitar. I swear to you, from the pickups to the tuners and everything. But this gives you creative things, you know what I mean? You can do whatever color you want. You can design this to any way you want it. That's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and get into the clean tones here on the bridge. Here we go. We'll go ahead and coil split that. Here we go. Alright, let's go back. I pushed it back into full humbucker. We're going into the middle selection. Here you go. Nice. And right to the neck. So, that's the clean tones. Let's get into some dirtier sounds now and see what we can get out of this awesome DIY kit. Alright, of course I got to put some of my, this helps reduce the risk of fire when I'm playing. Just kidding. Anyway, let's see what kind of tone we can get here with the distorted tone. Here we go. I'm using my Blackstar ID TVP 260 on my favorite preset, like I always do, just as a reference, because I know a lot of people ask. So, here we go. That nice tone. The note holds for quite a while. That's good. Very nice. starting on the bridge pickup. Here we go. Into the middle selection. Let's go right to the neck. All right, man, that sounds pretty good, huh? Yeah. Okay, some quick lead tone variation, nothing major here. I'm trying to rush this along. I'm short on time, sorry. Anyway, so let's go right into the leads here on the bridge. Right to the middle selection. And to the neck. Oh man, sounds pretty good. All right guys, real quick, we're gonna do some bending here and just try to knock this thing out of tune. See if these tuners are really good. We're in tune right now. There won't be any cuts. I'll just do some horrible bending and playing for you. Excuse me. Thank you. But yeah, we'll do some horrible bending and stuff here. Try to knock this thing out. We're in tune right now, so see what we can do. Here we go. All right, let's see where we're at. See if we're out of tune. Well, that, my friends, is a wrap on the sounds of this thing. I think it sounds really good, guys. I didn't weigh this. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, hey, it comes in just a shade under 7 pounds for this one that I have. So 6.93 or 6.93, whatever. Would have been 69 pounds. I wouldn't be playing this. All right, guys, please don't be intimidated by these. These are really awesome kits, man. Everything is laid out for you in the directions here, even all the way up to the intonation. If you've never intonated a guitar, perfect way to start, man. It lays it out. It gives you, it's very plain. Tells you what to do when you're sharp, when you're flat, when to lengthen the string, when to shorten the string. It's pretty simple, honestly. Once you get the hang of it. But this is just a good way to get started with a DIY kit. Back in the day when I started doing some of these that I have back on my wall, like 8 to 10 years ago, they didn't come with directions like this. You was just like, well, I guess I'm looking up a YouTube video to see how I'm wiring a pickup up. Or, you know, the other stuff would be like, you know, how do I intonate? What is this? What do I do here? How do I adjust the truss rod? That type of stuff. Since I've done those things, I feel more comfortable in doing things to my own guitar. So, like I said, it's pretty awesome for what you get with all these directions. The only thing I would say is the wiring. Just kind of pay attention to where you're plugging things. And the best thing about plug and play, you can plug it. Hey, it don't work. Oh, switch that wire. Oh, hey, it works. You know, it's not like, oh, God, I just soldered that. It is horrible. I've done that before. So, plug and play is pretty nice. All right, guys, if you're interested in this at all, okay, first off, this is regularly $159. Right now, at this very second, keep an eye out, but right now on the site, you can click a coupon and get this for like 140 bucks. So $140 will get you this thing. Or wait, there's another way. Alright guys, so I've teamed up with Aklot. They have agreed to give a guitar kit to one of you guys, okay? All you need to do is please, I just ask that you be a subscriber to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You don't have to be, but it'd be nice if you did, okay? Number one. Number two, it's not necessary, not required, but show some love to Aklot. Go to their IG page. I'll try to leave their other sites down below as well, like TikTok and things like that. Just give them a follow, show them some love for this awesome giveaway of a DIY kit to one of you guys. We'll run this for about 2 weeks, then I will do another video and we will use a random YouTube comment picker to pick the winner, okay? All you have to do is leave a comment down below with DIY kit in the comment, okay, somewhere. Like if you just want to say, hey, I want a DIY kit, or awesome DIY kit from Aklot. You know, just something. Just make sure DIY kit is in there, because when I go in to do the YouTube comment selector, that's going to be the key word I look for. DIY kit, okay? So if you didn't put that in, unfortunately, you're not going to be entered. So you won't have a chance to win, which I'll be sad. And Aklot will be sad because I couldn't give one away. And it's just going to be a whole thing. God. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. Drop a like if you liked it. I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Welcome in all my new subscribers. We'll be doing the Stride Strat DIY very soon as well. So stay tuned for that. We'll try to get her done here, I don't know, maybe in a few weeks. Like I said, don't forget to leave your comment down below. DIY kit. Alright, please do that. And yeah, we'll see you in another video very soon. Rock on everybody. Don't forget, it's all about the music. Later. Love ya. Bye.